Now, a story of one young man who's getting on with his life while battling with Tourette's syndrome. It's a condition where people swear uncontrollably or have body or facial tics that they can't control.
Brent from Somerset has turned the camera on himself to show what living with one of nature's most unusual medical conditions is really like. He's found that channeling his energy into creative things can help suppress his symptoms. He's telling his story as
now he writes lyrics all the time, ready for those awkward and sometimes dangerous moments when he might need to avoid a compulsion.
This condition is like an evil twin. It knows how to press your buttons, and it will creep up on you when you least expect it. You listen, this condition is an artistic partnership. How many ticks would a Tourette's kid tick? If that Tourette's kid could sit, forget this bullshit. But it's knick-knack, paddywhack, give this dog a kick. Cause the kid isn't sick, it's just a gobby little prick that brings us back in pressure when it comes to crunch time.
Well, we're going off to University of Sussex, and we're going to take part in research on the brain for Tourette's. I mean, I have no idea really what's happening today. I just kind of signed up because I need to get to know some sciencey people so I can, in the future, prove this idea that I've got about how Tourette's vanishes when being creative. And one of the best examples that kind of proves this is Bianca Says. I mean, she's got one of the worst Tourette's cases in Australia.
As many as 1 in 200 people have Tourette's. Putting on ice skates is almost impossible, but on the ice, playing with her brother Tim, Bianca's a different girl. And for a brief moment, this is a happy family.
I've been basically theorising that where creativity and imagination comes from, the subcortical region, is the same part as where Tourette's comes from. And I personally believe by being creative, it's interrupting the Tourette's. But I have no idea how to prove this. I'm not a scientist. I just need to kind of get some advice on really how to prove my own theory, of looking at the brain in a creative environment versus a non-creative environment.
Just a few minutes while I attempt to wrap this, slow down the speeds in my brain.
Jesus, this place is huge. Clinical Imaging Science Centre. Well, that sounds like where we need to be.
You're worse with directions than I am.
I know. There's a laundrette.
Friend, you've never done laundry in your life.
They just don't know, but when they get it wrong, it drives me schizo. Cause this is no disease, this is a syndrome, and it's only at ease when I bust a big flow.
What are we doing with this time machine looking thing? I mean, are you sending me back to like the dinosaur age or something?
Might look like a time machine, but our MRI scanner is actually a huge magnet that allows us to take pictures of not just brain activity but also brain structure. So we're looking at quite a few things in this study. Firstly, we know that Tourette's syndrome is likely related to disruptions in activity in multiple movement regions of the brain, but we don't understand in enough detail about the precise nature of those interactions and how they might be altered in Tourette's syndrome. This task that we're asking you to do has never been tried before in the MRI on people with Tourette's syndrome.
I'm a little bit nervous and intimidated by this, but I'm going to just go at it. So, what do you hope for this to show? I mean, what do you expect for the conclusion to be when you do this?
So the main finding that we want to get at is as I mentioned, these more insightful details into how the interactions between regions of the motor system are different in Tourette's syndrome.
Where do you see, the future of treating Tourette's? Because at the moment it seems to be like sedate. I mean, will this research hopefully move that into a kind of a new realm of treatment?
I certainly hope it's a new springboard to explore different avenues beyond just the standard dopaminergic medications, because as you mentioned, these, although they can be effective in reducing tics, I think they can feel a little bit like a sledgehammer.
Yeah, it comes with a cost. I remember being on sedatives myself for my Tourette's, and it really did for 2 years leave me in bed and with no interest in anything. A lot of people with Tourette's have found their own way of dealing with symptoms without the use of medication, which seems to be art and creativity. And that's something I'm trying to explore further in the future. But Charlotte, this is I'm going to be brave. We're just going to do it. And I'm just going to stay still.
It's given me this cat-like agility, so put yourself pictures and stunts.
In this one you'll see faces ever so quickly, and then we want you to press left if the face was angry and right if it wasn't angry, okay?
Brilliant.
Little clown, cause I controllably curse, and it ticks so quick. I'm talking in reverse, in the circus, the sadists and TV producers. Let me see the truth that you may never see, cause I may have Tourette's, but it doesn't have me. Whatever you may see is just a tiny degree. I'm the only
What I gathered today was that basically they're testing to see my brain's reactions to certain kind of stimulus, and how that differs between people with Tourette's and without Tourette's. It's just kind of opened my mind up into how complex the brain is, how difficult it is to understand really what's going on, because no one brain is the same as any other.
Yes, at face value it's really quite absurd, but you haven't registered not a third of this iceberg.
In our next study, what we want to do is to then move towards translation. We could also look at certain training studies. For example, we know that people with Tourette syndrome can sometimes suppress their tics, even if only for a short period of time. And we could look at the effect that training that kind of suppression might have.
You know, I see science's heart is in the right place, don't get me wrong, but it's not in the right way. What I mean is, from today's MRI study, they were talking about helping people learn how to suppress their tics. Now there's a fine line between suppressing and controlling. Suppressing seems to only benefit those around the ticker, whereas controlling it really does put the person with Tourette's in the driving seat of their own brain. And that's something that needs to be clarified strongly.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Lots of your personal results. So what would you like to hear about? I can tell you about your clinical scores. We flashed up very briefly, just for 16 milliseconds, faces. And those faces either had a neutral expression or they had an angry expression.
That's right.
Yeah. But regardless of whether people could see it or not, we found the opposite pattern of behaviour in people with Tourette syndrome. So you show people an angry face very briefly, and they are more likely to move compared to a neutral face.
So it's like a reflex on a subliminal message level is a higher rate than the controlled people without Tourette's.
Yeah, higher rate.
Wow.
You were able, you were one of our sort of highest detectors.
No, really?
And you were not supposed to be able to see these faces, Brent. So it does suggest that, yeah, there might be that heightened sensitivity and sensory processing in Tourette syndrome. And to be honest, that wasn't what I was expecting. That took me by surprise.
Really?
All the experiences that, you know, people with tics are dealing with. I think it's amazing that you guys came into the study. You got through everything that you did with us, 3 hours, all these tests.
We wanted to know. We want answers. We're going to come and get some answers, aren't we? Please, carry on the work we're doing, and we will catch up and talk more, because this is mind-blowing information that has never seemed to have come to light before. So I'm really excited. Great to catch up. We'll speak again soon. And yeah, take care. And you just let me know how it goes and keep at it.
I will do.
All right. I'll speak to you later. Bye.